Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. I don't think people understand just how devastating a loyalty program change can be until it happens to them. Sarah stared at her laptop, her coffee growing cold and untouched beside her, as a wave of anxiety washed over her. The world outside her window was quiet, but inside, her thoughts raced. She had just opened an email from Air Canada, its subject line stark and unsettling. Important update regarding your aeroplan, elite status. Her heart sank as she clicked it open, bracing herself for bad news. The message was painfully clear. Her hard-earned points, carefully saved over years for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Japan with her mother, were suddenly worth much less than she'd counted on. The value she'd built up, point by point, was slipping away. The business-class seats she'd dreamed of, picturing her mother's smile as they settled in for the long flight, were now out of reach. The comfort and care she wanted to give her ailing mother seemed to vanish in an instant. Years of loyalty, choosing Air Canada for every trip, spending extra, planning meticulously, and always believing in the promise of reward, suddenly felt meaningless. Every decision she'd made to stay loyal now seemed like a mistake. The promise of reward for her dedication had vanished with a single, impersonal email. There was no apology, no explanation, just a cold notification that everything had changed. Sarah's dream of a special journey for her ailing mother, a trip filled with memories and meaning, was now uncertain. She looked at the photos she'd collected, wondering if they would ever become real. She closed her laptop, feeling betrayed, disappointed, and powerless. The future she'd planned so carefully was now out of her hands. The points weren't just numbers on a screen, they represented years of trust, effort, and hope. Each one was a step toward a dream, a promise she believed would be honored. Now, that trust was broken. The relationship she thought she had with the airline felt one-sided and fragile. She wondered how many others were facing the same heartbreak, how many dreams had been quietly erased by a policy change no one saw coming. For Sarah and thousands like her, it was a harsh reminder. In loyalty programs, the rules can change overnight, and customers are often left to pay the price, powerless to fight back. The dream she'd built with patience and hope was gone, replaced by a bitter sense of loss, and a lesson she would never forget. On January 8, 2026, Air Canada quietly announced a major devaluation of its Aeroplan program via email. The news arrived in the early hours, catching most members completely off guard. There was no fanfare, no press release, just a simple message that would have a massive impact on thousands of loyal customers. Overnight, the points required for reward flights, especially premium international seats, jumped dramatically. Some routes saw increases of 30, 40, or even 50%, making dream trips suddenly out of reach for many. The value of hard-earned points plummeted, leaving members scrambling to understand what had happened. There was no warning, no grace period. Members woke up to find their points suddenly worth far less. Many had been saving for years, planning special vacations or family reunions, only to discover their efforts had been wiped out overnight. Billions in value were erased from customer accounts. For some, this meant losing the chance to book long-awaited trips, while others saw years of careful planning and saving go up in smoke in an instant. For years, Air Canada had marketed Aeroplan as a stable, valuable currency, encouraging customers to save for future travel. Their ads promised that loyalty would be rewarded, and many travelers trusted the program as a reliable way to make their travel dreams come true. The abrupt change shattered that trust. Customers who had believed in the program now felt misled and let down, questioning whether their loyalty had ever truly mattered to the airline. The airline's official statement cited market dynamics and long-term sustainability, but offered little comfort. The explanation felt hollow to many, who saw it as corporate speak for putting profits over people. Customers flooded social media with outrage, sharing stories of lost dream trips. Hashtags trended as people vented their frustration, and travel forums lit up with angry posts and calls for accountability. The lack of notice was the biggest grievance. Other airlines typically give months of warning. This sudden change left no time to redeem points at the old rates, making the blow even harder to accept. Air Canada's move was seen as a blatant disregard for its most loyal customers. Many felt that their years of dedication and spending had been ignored, replaced by a cold business decision. The loyalty program, once a source of excitement, had become a source of anger and frustration. What was once a badge of honor now felt like a reminder of broken promises. The message was clear. The rules can change at any time, and loyalty is no guarantee of reward. For many, this was a harsh lesson in the realities of airline loyalty programs. For many, it felt like a betrayal. The trust that had been built over years was broken in a single night, leaving customers to wonder if it could ever be rebuilt. Aeroplan Elite status isn't just about collecting points, it's a tiered system rewarding Air Canada's most frequent high-spending travelers. Members climb from 25K to Super Elite 100K, unlocking perks like priority check-in, lounge access and e-upgrade credits. For top-tier members, benefits include concierge service and the highest upgrade priority. Achieving status requires significant time and money, making it a core part of many travelers' lives. The program's promise, loyalty, will be recognized and rewarded. That's why the devaluation stings so deeply. It's not just about points, it's about a broken relationship. Customers who built their routines around Air Canada now question if their loyalty was ever truly valued. The foundation of trust has been shaken. The devaluation wasn't uniform, it targeted the most coveted rewards. Short-haul economy flights saw minor increases, but long-haul business and first-class redemptions skyrocketed. A business-class flight to Europe, once 70,000 points, now costs 120,000 or more. Dynamic pricing changes removed the chance for sweet spot deals, keeping redemption rates high even on empty flights. Partner airline redemptions, once a great value, also became much more expensive. Air Canada made it easier to redeem for low-value rewards but much harder for the aspirational trips members dream of. The strategy is clear: protect the airline's bottom line, even if it means disappointing its most loyal customers. The value of hard-earned points has been slashed. This isn't just a blow to frequent flyers, it hits families, small business owners, and occasional travelers too. The impact of these changes ripples far beyond the most loyal customers, touching the lives of anyone who's ever dreamed of a special trip, or relied on points to make travel affordable. Imagine a family saving for years, carefully budgeting every dollar, and collecting points with every grocery run or credit card purchase, all in hopes of finally taking that long-awaited vacation together. Only to find, when the time comes, that their hard-earned points no longer cover the trip they'd planned. The dream suddenly feels out of reach, and the excitement turns to disappointment. The financial logic of choosing Air Canada is now in question. Without valuable rewards, the incentive to stay loyal fades. Travelers start to wonder if their loyalty is really worth it. Why pay more or stay loyal when the benefits are shrinking? Many will start comparing other airlines, looking for better deals or more reliable rewards programs. The sudden change breeds distrust, leaving travelers feeling blindsided and uncertain about what to expect in the future. It makes customers wary of investing in Aeroplan, questioning whether it's worth joining or continuing to participate in the program at all. For many, Air Canada is a national symbol, representing Canadian pride and reliability. People want to support their national airline, but loyalty is a two-way street. This move, however, creates resentment and frustration, as travelers feel their loyalty is being taken for granted. There's a growing sense of being trapped, with customers feeling like they have no real choice but to stick with an airline they no longer trust or feel valued by. Many are now forced to fly with an airline they no longer trust, simply because alternatives are limited or points are already invested. The damage to Air Canada's reputation could last far longer than any short-term financial gain. Word spreads quickly, and negative experiences linger in people's minds. Loyalty, once a two-way street, now feels one-sided. The fallout is widespread and deeply personal, affecting not just travel plans, but the trust and goodwill that took years to build. The backlash was immediate and fierce. Online forums exploded with stories of betrayal from long-time Super Elite members. "This isn't an adjustment, it's theft," wrote one. The lack of notice was the main source of outrage. Industry experts slammed Air Canada's approach, calling it a masterclass in destroying customer goodwill. Devaluations happen, but zero notice is anti-consumer. Air Canada's response, a generic statement about program health, did little to calm anger. Financial analysts, meanwhile, saw the move as fiscally prudent, highlighting the disconnect between shareholder interests and customer loyalty. For passengers, the stock price means little when their dream trip is gone. The incident exposed a deep rift between corporate priorities and customer trust. The damage to Air Canada's brand may be lasting. For many, the sense of betrayal overshadows any financial logic. This isn't Air Canada's first loyalty controversy, but it's the most severe. Aeroplan's history is complicated, once spun off, then bought back, with years of customer frustration over limited availability and uncertainty. In 2020, Air Canada relaunched Aeroplan, promising transparency and better value. The changes were initially well received, rebuilding trust. But this sudden devaluation undoes much of that goodwill. Customers who believed in the new Aeroplan now feel misled. The abruptness of the change reopens old wounds and raises doubts about the airline's long-term commitment to its promises. Gradual, announced changes are seen as fair. Overnight shifts are not. Many now wonder if loyalty to Air Canada is worth the risk. If you're an Aeroplan member, it's time to rethink your strategy. Treat points as a depreciating asset. Redeem them sooner rather than later. Consider earn and burn instead of saving for years. Explore other airlines and more flexible credit card rewards programs. Diversify your points to protect against future devaluations. Be flexible with travel plans. Sometimes alternate routes or dates offer better value. Check partner airline options, as some deals may still exist. Make your voice heard. Contact Air Canada. Share your story online and join discussions. Collective feedback can sometimes prompt change or goodwill gestures. Don't let frustration turn to apathy. Your feedback matters. Stay informed and adapt. Loyalty should be earned, not assumed. The fallout from Air Canada's Aeroplan devaluation is just beginning. The airline faces a choice: ignore the backlash or take steps to rebuild trust. A sincere apology and goodwill gestures could help, but so far, humility is lacking. For travelers, the lesson is clear. Loyalty programs are marketing tools, not savings accounts. If value disappears, take your business elsewhere. Competing airlines are ready to welcome disillusioned customers. Air Canada is betting its market dominance will keep most people from leaving. But a broken promise lingers. The future of Air Canada's relationship with its passengers depends on its next move. At the heart of every point is a person who deserves respect.